So sometimes we have an equation like this. Y equals 5. Well, if we were to make a table of values, and you might have asked on the last problem when we were graphing, why didn't I use a table of values? Well, I could have. I just decided to use the slope and the y-intercept because I think it's easier to graph that way, and it's another way to graph, okay? We're going to teach you a third way to graph here in a little bit. But if I have this equation right here, y equals 5, you'll notice that there's no x. You have a y-intercept, b is 5. Okay, so 0, 5 is a point. You could go draw that, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I count 1, 2, 3? Well, I only counted 4. Okay, let me remove that. 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then what is another point? Well, 1, 5, and 2, 5, and negative 1, 5. The y is always being 5. X, there's no restriction. It can be whatever. So there's 1, 5, 2, 5, negative 1, 5. All of these are points that satisfy that equation. And so the line looks like a horizontal line like this. The slope here is 0. Okay, you can see that from the equation. There's 0x, right? Okay, so it's a horizontal line, and it's a slope of 0. Okay? Does it pass the vertical line test? It does. This is a function. This is a function. And in fact, we talked a little bit about that in the last section, that if you had f of x equaling a number, like c, that is called the constant function. Well, we talked a little bit about a constant section, not increasing or decreasing, right? Okay, so anyway, maybe I'm ahead of myself on that. All right, we can also have a vertical line. Vertical lines, you might imagine, look like x equals some number, like negative 3. So you go to negative 3 on the x-axis, and you make a vertical line. Okay, and that's how you graph it. If you wanted to think about a table of values, you're thinking of, well, x always has to be negative 3, and y could be anything. So, if you were to graph those points, negative 3, negative 5 would be like down here somewhere. And negative 3, 0, and negative 3, 2, and they're going to make this vertical line. So that's a vertical line. This is what the equation looks like. X equals something, and the vertical line, you draw that wherever the number is. Okay, here's the big deal, though. This is not a function. This is not a function. It doesn't pass the vertical line test. For every input, negative 3, I'm getting a bunch of different outputs, okay? So it's not a function. You can still have it. It's a line. It's a relation, but it's not a function. The slope of the line is undefined. Okay? So just to recap a little bit about slopes, I usually think of it as skiing, snow skiing. So here you're increasing, you're going up, the slope is greater than 0. This is a positive thing, positive. So it's like you're riding the ski lift up the mountain, and that's positive, right? You're just sitting on the little bench, riding up the mountain, so that's a positive thing. But then you have to ski down the mountain. Now it's decreasing, a decreasing function. The slope is less than 0, and the slope is negative. So for me, the 2 times I've been snow skiing, it was negative. I got hurt because I kept running into stuff. So that was a negative thing for me. That's coming down the hill. Okay, going up on the little bench, that was fine. Okay, then you have cross-country skiing. This is a horizontal line. This is when the slope is equal to 0, and it is constant. Yeah, slope is 0. It's like cross-country skiing. And then you have a vertical line. And the slope is undefined. It's like you skied off the cliff. Okay, so yeah, it's not a function. Not a function. All right, so there's a little review on slope.